understand your name is Charles E. Young, and you're a senior?
Senior.
Okay, good enough. And your date of birth is the 8th of July, 1939,
Yes.
and born in Eldersburg,
Well, actually, I was born in Howard County.
Howard County.
The place was called Glenelg, and I lived on a farm.
Oh, good. Okay. And our interview this morning, or this afternoon, is taking place at the Carroll County Media Center here in Westminster. So just the two of us. I'd like to have you relax, if you would, Charles.
Sure, I'm very relaxed.
Yeah, good. Okay, that's the name of the game. It's just a conversation we're having, and we'll preserve this for your children, grandchildren, and so forth.
Yes.
So I think it's a nice thing you can take the time to do this. And what do you do? Look, you in the U.S. Army, is that correct?
Yes.
And what did you do in the Army?
I was in communications.
Communications. Did you have a kind of communication center, or were you in a tent, or?
No, first I started out as a linesman, and I didn't get hooked up in communications while I was stateside. When I was stateside in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, I was in infantry.
Okay.
And then when I left Fort Jackson, I went to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, which was artillery.
Sure.
And then from there, I was shipped to Germany, and that's where I was with the 7th Army headquarters.
7th Army, where's that located?
That was in Grafenwehr,
Grafenwehr.
Germany. I
What year
loved
was
it.
that?
I loved it.
What year was that in Germany?
I went over there in 1969.
69? So you enlisted here, what,
I enlisted in 1968. And
68?
after, when you went after stateside, you go somewhere, so they sent me to Germany.
Okay, great. And how many years were you in the military altogether?
Altogether, I was in the military 9 years,
9 years?
and that's including my reserve.
Okay, very good. How many units were you in? Just 2 or 3? Or?
I was in, altogether, I was in 3 units.
3 units? What was your favorite assignment?
I loved Germany.
Okay.
I really did, because I got to travel a lot while I was over there on my leave time. And I had so much leave, I didn't use a lot of it, and I got paid for it.
Sure.
But I enjoyed going over there to see, other people around the world.
Yes, Germany is really neat.
It was.
Yes. And probably what is your most favorable memory of Germany? Is the people?
Yes, the people, the people were very nice.
Yes.
But the only thing about it was to learn the language. And I found out by buying a book and trying to speak the language, that wasn't too good. You had to be with someone to help teach you that language, and that's how I traveled. I had one friend of mine was in Holland, and I got to go to visit his family while I was over there on leave. We went on leave.
Oh. So you learned the language kind of in a relaxed atmosphere.
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's very, very good. I see you have some keepsakes there, your pictures and so forth. Do you have keepsakes besides your pictures that you keep?
Oh yeah, I have these pictures here with me being out in the field.
Okay.
Here is when I was a linesman. Here, when we went out in maneuvers, I'm behind a 50 caliber machine gun. Here, I'm standing at a roadside where I'm pointing to our troops as they come on maneuver, which way to go. And here, I'm taking a rest. As you can see, it's not a good bed.
Okay.
The sticks built up with half of a tent, and then I went to sleep on it, because they always told you about wild boars, and in that area there were wild boars.
Oh, this is kind of unique. It really is. Was that your design? Did you design that?
No, yeah, I designed this myself.
Oh, did.
And then when I went out on the field, the other guys got a chance to sleep on my bed.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've got a notebook of memories there.
Yes, I got my induction papers, I got my discharges, everything. I even got my, while I was over, well, once I come back, I was Soldier of the Year for my unit.
Soldier of the Year for your unit. That was in 14th of June of 62.
That was my, right after I got back, that was my reserve unit down in Virginia.
Fort Eustis?
I'm trying to think which one it was. It was on this side of Blackstone, Virginia.
Okay, I know where that is. Okay. Very good. So this you want to keep?
Oh, I'm
Absolutely.
keeping all of them. I even got one when I was in basic training in Fort Jackson.
Soldier of the
I
Year.
got one when I was in the artillery unit in Fort Sill, and then in the 7th Army headquarters, which where I was stationed, I also got from. So I received 4 Soldier of the Year awards while I was in the military.
Do you have the big certificates?
I didn't get the. I might have the certificates at home, but I got the letters like
That's
this.
the important thing.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, I enjoyed it.
Very good. I see you've got how many brothers in the Army there?
I had 8 brothers in the service.
8.
I had 1 brother in the Army. I mean, 1 brother in the Navy and 1 brother in the Air Force. All the rest of us we were Army.
And I guess they all survived?
They all survived, yes.
Great.
Only the 1 brother that actually was in the war. Well, I had 3 brothers in the war, 2 in World War II
Okay.
in Germany, and then I had 1 brother who is here.
Okay.
He was in
That's
Korea.
Carl.
That's
Okay.
Carl. Yeah, he was the only one that was ever wounded,
I see.
and he was shot in the leg. He was MIA for 4 days, and then 4 days.
MIA is Mission in Action.
Mission in action. Yeah, he was missing. And it was hard. It was hard on the family when they come and tell you this stuff. And that's one of the first things I bring out to when I go out and talk about this. I said, the person that suffers the most is the mother
Yes.
of the sons. And that's what happened. I never seen my mother cry until they came and told us that he had been shot in MIA. And, she just broke down. She just couldn't take it.
So it was a 4-day period, she didn't know that he was alive or not?
Yes, he didn't. When they came back, they said he was found under some brush with snow on top of him. And he had been shot in the upper part of his leg. And when he came out of the military, if he was sitting by a window or outside and a storm coming and with lightning,
Right.
he would take off running because he would get shot because they broke a needle off in his leg. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they broke a needle off.
What was your mother's reaction when she found out he was alive and safe?
Well, it changed dramatically.
Sure.
But for 4 days or more, she was still, she would cry and think, call out his name.
Sure.
And we would try to comfort her. By me being a little boy, I was only about maybe 13, 14.
Uh-huh.
And so we would comfort her, and then
Sure.
everything was
Absolutely.
right.
Well, family support is very important.
It is.
Yes.
It is.
Yes. I know when you leave this country and go overseas, there's a certain feeling within you that you don't feel comfortable till you come back home.
True.
Yes. Mhm. Absolutely. Okay, I got another question or two here. You were a single man when you went into the military?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. And you got married after you returned?
I got married after return.
Okay. And I see where you're involved in a lot of community affairs.
Yes. Hmm.
What, do you want to talk about any of those?
Oh, I have a whole list of those.
Okay.
I have so many. Well, when I got back, the first thing I did when I got out of the military, before I got out of the military, I was still in reserve. I went to reserve in Rockville.
Okay.
And when I got out of the the military, I was still in reserve, but I went to Springfield Hospital in 1962. That was my first full-time job. But before that, as a kid, I worked on a farm.
Okay.
And my wife was reading some of the stuff where I said I made 50 cents an hour
50 cents.
working in the community on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it. I milked cows.
And that was probably enough money to get you what you wanted.
Yes. But after Springfield, while I was in Springfield, I decided I wanted to try something else. I joined the Baltimore Job Corps Center.
Okay.
I was an art and craft instructor there. And from what I saw in the program, it just wasn't, to me, it wasn't set up right. Because they were taking the inner city kids, bringing them into the center, and by noon, those kids left that center, and they were getting paid to be there. And it just wasn't to me that this was right. So I expressed my concern about it. And I was called in by the director, and he said, "You're not running the center, I am." I said, "Okay, that's the way it's going to be." So about 2 or 3 months later, I left and came back to Springfield.
Okay. So you probably you're interested in other community affairs because.
Oh yeah, I was with the JCs, the Freedom JCs.
Uh-huh.
I also umpired Little League in Sykesville area for 20 years. And today I still see some of the young people at the high store down in Sykesville. And just a couple of weeks ago, a young man walked up to me, and he knew me. I didn't know him. He said, "You umpired." I said, "Umpired what?" He said, "You umpired me in baseball." So,
Sure.
and then I got hooked up with softball. I umpired softball, which was the hospitals, mental hospitals in the state of Maryland. We all would meet at either Spring Grove, Crownsville,
Right.
or Springfield. And then we would go down on the Eastern Shore, and that's the one you would like because the assistant director at Springfield, he gave us a half a day off to go down on the Eastern Shore to play softball.
Oh, yeah.
So I enjoyed that. And with the JCs, I know in one of my cases I was also JC of the year. And there you had I think a commissioner here in Carroll County named Jeff Griffith. Jeff and I ran the recycling center on Route 26 in Eldersburg on Ridge Road. And during that, the kids would come in and I wouldn't let them break the glass. I would give them the thing and let them smash the cans. And then I went to our president and then our board and said, "I think we should pay these kids." And they agreed, and we started paying the young men coming in to just a salary for buy school stuff and whatnot. But again, I was standing in Highs last week, and a young man came in. He says, he called my name. I didn't know him. He says, "Charlie," he says, "I used to work for you at the recycling center." It was nice. It was nice. I mean, there's so many young men out there that know me from back when, and I don't know them, but. That was the best 20 years that I enjoyed because I tell you what happened the last day that I decided after 20 years. I was walking with my last game that I was going to umpire on a Wednesday, and I gave them my letter, and I walked down the third baseline, and I have a picture where one of the parents took of me, and I was crying. An umpire. And the capture under it, I put, "The umpire, last day he cries." I enjoyed those kids.